Well, it's 2 days after the big event of the season. That is, of course, the 10 million rand running of the Hollywood Bets in July. That was Saturday, and certainly looked like a good time was had by all. And generally, as we'll hear from the man on my right, that the results were quite favourable over the weekend, not only in the Race Coast jurisdiction, but up here on the High Veld on Sunday as well. And of course, we've got to congratulate the man. He was certainly on fire with his selections for Sunday at Turvington, which also saw the running of the third leg of the Winter Series. Very good morning to you. It is a Monday recording for Tuesday racing in the Western Cape. We're racing at the country course of Hollywood Bets at Durbanville, and that'll be an 8-race program that starts at 12:50. So without further ado, let me introduce a man who certainly has surprised us that he turned up here today, and that is Mr. Marie, having time to break away from counting all the money from Saturday and Sunday. He has graced us with his presence. And of course, very good morning to you, Daryl.
Thanks, sis.
Thank you,
Not
buddy.
too sure about that. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think it was a great weekend for the bookmakers. Sure, they must
No,
have.
it was a weekend that favourites generally got their way. Of course, the big disappointment would have been double Grand Slam. I think a banker for many.
Yeah.
But no. Well done to the Snaith stable, first and second once again, with their 3-year-olds, and of course King Pels, and good prep for the
what
Gold
a
Cup.
Beautiful run.
Yeah,
Thought he was a little bit unlucky.
yeah,
Ran about 600 or 700 out. Musi moved off the fence and Chad had to take a hold of him.
yeah.
Anyway, he ran his heart out.
Right. But now the question is, will we see King Pels in the Gold Cup? Or do you think this was the big one for the season?
I think we will see him.
Yeah, we will see when we look
I think
forward to
so.
that. It certainly looks
Those
to be
norms are out. Sorry, Cess. Those norms are out on Monday.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm looking forward to the 2-year-old Group 1s on that day, because I think we've got some really useful 2-year-olds who didn't even step out on Saturday. But that's for the month end. Let's talk about Tuesday get out stakes for those who didn't do too well over the weekend.
Yeah.
How do we start the bipod, Mr. Marie? The favoritism, and a short one at that, is the 2 on the wings of a dove, and that is at 6-10. That is Candice Bass Robinson and Aldo de Meyer. That is your short priced favorite. And beyond that, you're looking at 9-2 about the One World of Secrets. That is Richard Fourie teaming up with Paul Reeves. Do we have a bank in the first leg?
No, I'm quite shocked to see this favorite odds on.
Yeah.
There's no doubt she's got a chance, but one needs to watch at replay. And the winner, Sparkling Star, got eased down to a walk and could have won that race by 10 lengths if she wanted to. So I think she's flattered by the margin.
Mm-hmm.
What I do want to say is the filly that ran a few lengths behind her, Captain's Lass, I think she ran 4 lengths behind her, holds my choice or my backup in number 1, World of Secrets. So if you're using Captain's Lass as a line horse, you're going to be favouring number 2 on the wings of a dove. Just with regards to number 1, World of Secrets, look at who she got from Stallgate position. She's got gate speed, she's on a firmer track, and she's got bend experience. Now, since that debut effort when she went around the Hollywood Bets Durbanville bend, she's proven more streetwise, so she's going to put herself in the race early. I've gone with numbers 1 and 2.
1 and 2, let's just confirm that is the opening leg of the bipod. Offer 10 minutes to 1 tomorrow. That is a Tuesday racing at the country course of Durbanville. Durbanville welcomes you. Maiden Juvenile Plate, and odds on is number 2 on the wings of a dove. So that is your bipod, 240 Rand, and I think we have to follow Mr. Marie. Let's strike that iron while it's really sizzling hot, because he is certainly a man who's hit a winning streak in the purple patch. Lucky Fish, New Fortune Maiden Juvenile Plate is race number 2. It's over the 12:50, and of course, be reminded that is the start of the place accumulator. We have another odds-on favourite. This time, not as short as the preceding one. This is 9-10 about the 2 Mordecai. Number 5 Cracker is at 7-2. Number 6, that is the California Cat, is at 4-1. 11-2 is number 7, and that is a Platinum Grey. Right, Mr. Marie, one thing that really jumped off this particular race was the form lines that are coming into the race. Of some of them, Mordecai has one winner that's come out of that. That's my Bonnie Boy. I think that is Lucinda's horse. But the 4 Happy Winter, beaten by Aku Canada, who followed up with that win in the Grade 3. Langerman, another hero, came out of that form line, and like Dynamite also came out of that form line to win, and that was under 11 lengths, just under 11 lengths behind the winner. And then, of course, Cracker, who's the second favourite, not surprising. 5 winners from that form line, huh?
Yeah. Now, if you're going on form lines, strictly on form lines, you're going to be leaning towards Cracker, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean, it's an unbelievable form line. It's probably the strongest in the country at present. I just want to say something. The horse that finished just ahead of him in that race was a horse called Royal Light, and he's the only one that hasn't really featured. So, I'm not saying that Cracker's also not going to feature. I respect him because of the strength of the form line, but I just liked what I saw from Mordecai on debut. If you watch that replay, says he came out sluggishly, and thereafter he was detached by 4 or 5 lengths behind the second last horse. And the work that he did in the latter stages was really eye-catching. He's now been stepped up to 1250, so it's an extra 250. He's damn one over a mile, and being by a WOM, this horse is going to go 2,000 meters in time to come. So this isn't going to be his best trip. He's going to improve over it, but he's going to be better in time to come. I can't see him missing the top 2, hence me bankering him in my bipot and my PA. Like I say, I do have healthy respect for Cracker. He would have been my backup if I did opt to go another horse over here. And take note of number 1. There was a lot of anti-post support for him on debut. He drifted out race time. But if you are playing trifectas and quartets, yes, I'd look at including him. Now, the favorite on debut ran 4th, right? The horse that ran 5th is a horse called Rust Never Sleeps. And he came and improved substantially in his second start, beaten less than a length by another hero who had good form behind him. So, yes, confident banker in the place accumulator number 2.
Okay, so there it is confirmed. And the other banker will come in the penultimate event. That is race number 7, and that would be number 6. That is the 2-year-old and open company, One Magic and One World, to be partnered by Craig Zaki in race number 7. A total outlay of just 120 Rand. That is your place accumulator. We remind the time, 13:25, the start of that PA. We head on to the first leg of the Pick 6, and that is race number 3, and we have an 11-10 favourite in the form of a number 2, and that is Spanish World, another Justin Snaith favourite. Craig Zaki again on another favourite. Odds and evens, number 6 is next best at 18-10, then the 5 and TBD is at 3-1. It is 10-1 and better bar those. Right, so 11-10, that is your favorite, Mr. Marie. This is the third run for a 2-year-old daughter of One World out of a Duke of Marmalade mare, Savile Orange. And then you got Pink Blossom, who's actually half sister to a Royal Aussie. Candice Bast trains, and JP van der Merwe. They're going over the 1400. Last time over the 14, a bit of improvement.
There was improvement from Pink Blossom. I've got a preference for the companion, Macro Gravity. So that is my third choice. If people want to go wider than my top 2 in my pick 6, it is number 1, Macro Gravity. You can see up the Kenilworth Straight, she's had the worst draw in both her starts. 8 out of 8 and 11 out of 11. And that outside going up the straight hasn't proven to be superior. It's surely by far inferior. Says now she cracks the gun gate of Soulgate number 1, and she's going over further. So I actually should have included her, but I didn't. I just like the improvement by Spanish World from run 1 to run 2. If you watch that race, Scandalize and Chad Little got first run on the outside, and she was boxed up on the inside running rail. And when she got out off that false rail, she closed in tightly, and the two of them pulled clear of the balance. Now, if you look at her breeding, you'll recall her dam, Savile Orange, being trained by Lucky Larkus. She won the Track and Ball Oaks for the Drakenstein. She stayed. So I think she's certainly going to benefit from the extra trip, and watch her over further in time to come. She's going to win her races. I liked what I saw from Ntabindi last time out. Richard sat aboard her for the first time from a claiming apprentice, and if you watch that race carefully, you'll see the work she was doing in the latter stages. And that form line has worked out extremely well, because not only did Before Sunrise win again, so did Peace Garland win from there, and Chinwag ran a lovely third in the Iridescent Stakes behind Grapes of Wrath. And she's going to strip fitter. I think number 5 is the biggest danger to the favourite. I don't like number 6, odds and evens. I don't like the form line of her. I wouldn't be including her, and I expect her to drift off the board. So I'm going in order 2, 5, and 1 if you do want to add another in the pick 6.
2, 5, and a 1. That would be the order of preference for Mr. Murray. He's got the top 2 in the 2 and 5 as part of his pick 6, but don't be shy to add the 1. He seems to have a bit of a regret in not suggesting that you throw in the 1 in his pick 6 there. That's the template, 960 Rand. 1400 hours is your off time to race 3. Race number 4, season start of Jackpot 1, and that is with the running of a maiden plate over the 1800 meters. 25 to 3 is your off time, and we have a short price favorite, not in the red as such. Leafling, number 8, is at 17 to 10. Number 3 is the Frequent Traveler, that is at 4 to 1. 9 to 2 about number 10, and that is a Sparkling Sky. Thereafter, you're looking at 5 to 1 about number 1. Up in Flames, and then it's 11 to 2 and Better Bar those. Mr. Marie, at Tor on one of the platforms, I was looking at the 3 as well as number 10, both finding a little bit of anti-post support.
Yes, now, if you're wanting to back Leafling, I would wait till race time. I expect her to drift. Let's say this about her. Since they've stepped up in distance in the Western Cape, she's improving. She was a little bit of a nutcase on the Halfveld. Maybe she's been behaving herself better at the coast. Now, I know on paper she clearly holds Sparkling Sky number 10 and number 1, says, Up in Flames. But I believe both of them are better than those efforts behind Kisses. Sparkling Sky is much better when she's allowed to stride. She's a massive filly. By her warm, and Up in Flames is now much kinder drawn, and all 3 of them get their sex allowance over here. Michelle Rix's stables absolutely fly. So if you don't go the 2 that I've gone, I've brushed all the fillies.
Okay.
If you don't go the 2 that I've gone, numbers 3 and 4, you need to include all of those fillies.
Okay.
Number 1, number 8, and number 10. But I've stopped with numbers 3 and 4, and they represent the same form line last time out, the Master Coiner form line. I thought Frequent Traveler's latest effort is his best by far today, so he's ready to get it right now. Look at the combination stats. When Greg Enyan engages Richard Free, they got a 60% win strike rate. 3 from 5. Richard's aboard him, well drawn, he's super fit, he can get it right. But just if you watch the latest replay, what will be came out a bit sluggishly. I don't know if it was by design, but he was given a chance, and he proved to be a little bit one-paced up the straights. I think now that he's peaking, because he's having his 3rd run after arrest, I'm sure they're going to attempt to be closer to the pace, especially at Durbanville. You don't want to be turning into the straight stone last at Durbanville. And you know, that dam, Nkushi Gold, I know she was best over a mile, and she did extremely well. All the siblings, 1 over 10 furlongs and further, 2,000 meters and further. So he's going to love it now that he's been built from 1,400 to 1,600 to 1,800. I've stopped at numbers 3 and 4. I think they're going to finish much closer together this time round. But like I said, if you want to go wider, please include numbers 1, 8, and 10.
1, 8, and the 10, that being Up in Flames. The 8, your current favorite, Leafling, and the 10, Sparkling Sky. Right, the first jackpot, again, a reminder, 14.35, and the outlay is just the 60 Rand. We would depend on that 6 to come through for us in the last leg. That's the 2-year-old One World in race number 7. Now we get into the second half of an 8-race program at the country course on a Tuesday. 10 past 3 is your off time to race 5. Again, be reminded, it is 2 jackpots, and this will be the start of the second one. Now, as far as the betting is concerned, number 5, that is Justin Snaith and Prentice Bungani team up, and that is Protector of Peace, who's currently at 3 to 1. At 33 to 10 is number 6, and that is the Big Bang. And then number 10, that is Rachetu, Justin Snaith again with Craig Zaki aboard. That is at 4 to 1. 9 to 2 is the number 9, and that is the Montessori. And thereafter, it is 15 to 2 and better bar those. Right, the form line here, Mr. Marie, of any relevance to you, that is numbers 4, 5, and 10, all coming out of that coffee crunch time. And the worst off at the weight is the 10 Rachetu with the 4 and the 5.
Don't like the look of this race. It's an open maiden. I'm not going to dwell too much on it because I've gone the entire field in my exotic. So I'm really hoping for a jolt of here. Something like number 4, Royal Clinton, could improve from an Appy to Callum Murray, neat draw, firmer going, and he tends to show pace in his early races. So maybe this time around at Durbanville, it will be more suitable. Yeah, I don't like the look of the race. I mean, we know that the form on offer here isn't overly strong. Horse like Montessori rested and gelded, and that stable's firing. I wouldn't be surprised, but he's very fierce in his races, and they're trying him with blinkers. Yeah, let's hope for the biggest roughie of the Asses.
Okay, so Big Ruffy in that first leg of jackpot 2, you saw in his first jackpot, Mr. Marie has gone the field after having those 2 horses in the first leg. That is race 5, and there it is confirmed. The bank again comes up in race 7, and then in race number 8, 2 and 5 will suffice according to Mr. Marie. Now we depart from the maiden ranks as we get into race number 6. This is the third last on the afternoon. That is tomorrow at Hollywood Bets at Durbanville. So that'll be a last chance to get involved in a pick 3. But the favorite is the one, Devil as Saint. That is Sean Veal looking to retain an unbeaten record on this 5-year-old son of Kirori out of a Rakeen mare, Lovely Jubbly. And that is at 3 to 1. 4 to 1 is the number 3, Red Dawn. Number 4 is a Superhero. Now the Superhero is at 4 to 1. 5 to 1 are numbers 5 and 6, that being a Gold Index, and the 6, that is a Smart Horse. And looking at another 5 to 1 shot, that is, no, in fact, that is a 7 to 1 shot, and that is number 2, Baton Rouge. Now, I did see somewhere along the lines, Superhero is quite prominent in your thought process for race 6.
Indeed. Let me just put it this way, that in my perms, I put all of numbers 1, 4, and 5, says. Now, start with number 1. So, he's got that great early gate speed. He puts himself in the race early. He's got the draw to favour his chances. This race, however, is packed with pace, early pace. Devil Saint likes to go forward. Baton Rouge, Smart Horse, Midway, and District Master. So I really think this is going to be run at a genuine pace. And if Sean Veal just takes a seat behind a front runner, he's going to get a lovely run in transits, isn't he? As long as he doesn't cut throats with the pacemaker, or if he gets it easy enough, he's going to be right there at the finish. I think this is a lovely race for him. Then you've got the likes of Gold Index, who made a winning debut for his new trainer, Rob Barrett. And obviously he's going to strip fitter this time around. Rob's had a few more weeks to get to know him better, and he ought to have come on with that run under the belt. Take note, Richard Free, who last time I rode him, put up half a kg overweight at 55.5. So rode him at 56. Now he's agreed to get down to 54.5 on him, which is very interesting. But I got a preference for number 4, Superhero. Now, he's a likely race 4-year-old. I am a bit concerned that it's 3 runs, consecutive runs, quite close to each other, because he was off for quite some time. But if you watch his latest start, Royal Influencer controlled the pace up front, and he really put on the brakes up front, and Superhero found himself way out of his ground, turning for home off a slow run race, and quickened up in the straight to get there in time. And I foresee a good pace of year, which is gonna be much more suitable for him. And being a 4-year-old rated 71, I think he's much better than that rating. So I'm gonna be favoring him. I'm tipping them 4-1-5.
415. 415, that is the numbers. A Superhero being the first choice there. That is a Futura out of a Commands mare, Nona in a Command. That is race number 6. Again, it is the last chance to get involved in a pick 3 tomorrow afternoon. Well, the name has come up in our preview earlier on. That was form line coming through in race number 2. And we've often alluded to the fact that this is a banker in all bets for Mr. Marie. That is One Magic having the second outing and hoping to retain an unbeaten record. Well, it's priced up to do so at 8-10. The second favorite is number 4, Avignon. And that is at 4-1. 5-1 is number 3. And that is Prince of Tibet. 7-1, number 7, Ozark. Number 5 is Oktoberfest, and Oktoberfest is at 8-1. It is 16-1 and a better bar those. So One Magic, you did say you like the form line, and obviously you are looking for further improvement from this One World.
Not only that, says I like the breeding. The dam was very decent, trained by the Alexanders back in the day. She was a above average sprinter, and more importantly, I like the post-race comments from Aldo. Excuse me, Sess. Did you listen to the post-race comments?
I missed it.
So he said he had worked this horse prior, and he was so fortunate that Justin put him on it because all he felt was luxury. Those were his words. He said, this horse gives you the feel of luxury. He then went on to say that One Magic won't only win his next start, he'll win his following 2. That's the feel he gave him. And Aldo sat on some decent horses in his career. And for him to get off a 2-year-old and say that, you need to prick your ears and take note of what he felt aboard him. He pinged the gates, and Aldo said he decided to give him a chance and get him some cover, and he quickened up smartly. There were 2 races run up the Kenilworth Straight that day, Hollywood Bets Kenilworth, and his time was the quickest by 4 lengths. That was over 1,000 meters, and the way he quickened in the latter stages, one has to believe that the 1250 is going to be in his favor. Now, yes, he is taking on older sorts, and if you do happen to include Prince of Tibet, you have to put Avignon, you have to put Ozark, and it just becomes too costly thereafter. I think on ability, he'll take all the beating because there's absolutely no doubt this horse is going to win his races. The only thing that might get the better of him is greenness around the bend for the first time. So that's a concern. But for Aldo to voice those words after this horse's victory must surely give us confidence that this horse has got an exciting future ahead of him. So we have to go into this race confident that he's the best horse and he'll get the job done. Number 6, One Magic, a win bet. You're not going to get too rich. I'd say to the viewers, maybe look at taking a double into the last race with my fancy gold Gabowski.
Question then, why isn't Aldo riding it? He's got no ride in the race.
Because Craig Zaki, let me just see if Craig Zaki, I don't know. Craig Zaki looks like he could be the flavor of the day with the Snates going forward.
Okay, there you heard it from the man.
Or the flavor of the month.
Flavor of the month. Well, there's only one more month for the season, and certainly the run. We've got a crackerjack finish to the meeting at Hollywood Bets at Durbanville. That is on a Tuesday with the running of this Hollywood Bets Bright Future A Stakes over the 1250 and some very nice horse in the race itself. Let's see what the market is saying about the chances of several. And the 2, that is your favorite unbeaten over course and distance. 2 from 2, that is King Regent to be partnered by Apprentice Bongani for Glenn Cotson. And that is that 3-1 go favorite with the number 4, the US of A. Now, as far as the 72 is concerned, that's about the 3 Beware. This on Tuesday afternoon to be partnered by Sean Veal. Then you've got number 5, Gold Giboski. Now, that is at 9-2. Number 1 is also, it's 11-2 rather, and that is absolutely yes. We could go on and on and on, but I'll stop there. Maybe with the 6 also in single digits, Mr. Marie, and that is a 13-2 dance variety.
Yeah, this certainly is a case of leaving the best for last, because this is a cracking race. So on paper, one certainly going to be favouring King Regent over the US of A. Not only did he beat him, he's better off at the weights with him. So it's hard to see the US of A reverse the form with King Regent. But in that race, he was having his second on after rest. At one point of the race, he looked very dangerous. He moved up, he got there, and then he just tired late, and Richard looked after him in the latter stages. They are going around the bend this time round. And you can see, well, you touched on the fact that King Regent loves the course and distance. So it's going to be interesting to see how the US of A handles Durbanville, or Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Beware, rested and gelded. He's a lovely sort. You can see who he's run behind: Jan van Gooyen, Roland Garros, Jet Force. He's a really, really smart young 3-year-old who I'm going to be certainly following, Cess. Another 3-year-old, which we're going to be keen to see how he goes, to see if he's actually trained on, because he's returning from a 3-month layoff. He's number 1, absolutely yes. He's run against the best of his age. But a horse I'm leaning towards is Gold Giboski. Now, he does come back in trip. I like the fact that it's a small field for him, because he likes to be given a chance in the early stages. He likes to be ridden cold. And the fact that there's not too many runners in the race, he shouldn't be tailed off, turning into the straight like he was last time out. So if he's in the region of 3 or 4 lengths off them, he's got a beautiful turn of foot. And with 51 to shoulder, I think he may be picking them off smartly in the latter stages. I'm not saying he's a racing certainty, but I think he's actually the right horse in the race. I'm really keen to see how he goes. I do have a healthy respect for several others over here, but I've suggested a win bet on Gold Giboski.
Gold Giboski is at the selection. They're bidding for a 4th win at the 13th time of the races, when taking up its place in the last race of the afternoon. That is race 8, you off at 16:55. That has been Darryl, and his thoughts are for the first local meeting, which is Tuesday at Hollywoodbets at Durbanville. 5 Gold Giboski. That is the suggested runner for a bit of value. It's a gold standard and trained by Justin Snaith.